A lot of stories. The coaching carousel is still spinning, Lee.
Well, we got some hot names now that are not available because their teams are now out of the playoffs. So we got some hot people out there who can get hired immediately. You got Mike McCarthy interviewing Chicago, interviewing New Orleans. You got Pete Carroll has interviewed in Chicago, has interviewed with the Raiders. Brian Flores interviewing at least 2 spots, including now the Raiders, hot candidate, New Orleans. Robert Saleh, the ex-Jets coach, he has completed his interviews. If he doesn't get a head job, and by the way, he just interviewed in Dallas over the weekend. If he doesn't get a head job, he goes to San Francisco defensive coordinator. Ron Rivera will interview with the Raiders shortly, has already interviewed in Chicago. Those are really flashy names of former head coaches. McCarthy is at the top of the list. Ben Johnson is available in Detroit now that the Lions have been eliminated, and it looks like he's going to get his choice. Does he want to coach Caleb Williams in Chicago? Would he go to Jacksonville and take on Trevor Lawrence? Johnson, hot candidate. Kliff Kingsbury is on the back burner. He can't interview right now because Washington's still in the playoffs, but his name is being directed towards Dallas. Kellen Moore, Eagles offensive coordinator, still in the playoffs. Second interview scheduled in Dallas with the Cowboys where he was. Todd Monken, Baltimore Ravens coordinator, available to be interviewed immediately because the Ravens got eliminated. We hear the Raiders are going to talk to him. We think Jacksonville might be in the running. Liam Cohen, Tampa Bay, has already interviewed Jacksonville. That might be a landing spot for him. And then the 2 veteran defensive coordinators. Vance Joseph, Denver, has been interviewed multiple times. Aaron Glenn, his season over in Detroit, about to be interviewed for a second time, I'm told, in Chicago, and then is going back to New Orleans for a second interview there. So, John, I can't remember in years gone by how many marquee names we've had, because these are all proven commodity former head coaches or hot coordinators. How many marquee names we've had, and there's only 6 jobs open since Mike Vrabel went to New England. So what do you think about that hot list? Who do you like?
You know, we talk about Pete Carroll. I mean, I think he would be a great addition to the Raiders. I think Brian Flores deserves another shot. He's been screwed. Kellen Moore, I don't have confidence in as a head coach. Robert Saleh is a terrific guy. I think he doesn't deserve another shot, but it's probably best go back to being a defensive coordinator. Maybe his opportunity comes a year or 2 down the road. But I love seeing these other guys getting chances, like Vance Joseph, Aaron Glenn. Those are veterans out there.
If you're Ben Johnson, you had the chance to get Caleb Williams or Trevor Lawrence, what would you do? Where would you go?
Well, some of the people here on the live chat are saying that Ben Johnson's now already signed with the Bears.
Could be.
Did this just might have just gone down in the last hour or 2?
Okay, so that's where we are right now with head coaches that are out there. It's going to be interesting couple of weeks. And of course, there's still some guys who can't be interviewed first time or second time because their teams are still playing. All things NFL. Feel free. Jump on board there and join us in the chat box for Fans Forum.